Chapter 24 to 25. The tournament was coming into an official close with the greatest fight that has ever gone on stage appearing early in the matches. The spectators were no doubt disappointed in following fights that were less visually exciting. The Dragon crew all gathered to the front of the tournament grounds with Tien and Kairatsu in tow to talk to them. Everyone all huddled up to Goku to congratulate him on his fantastic win. Goku, congrats. That fight of yours had me on my toes. Yeah, who knew how strong you would have gotten within those 3 years? I guess that really has to do something with my invention, doesn't it? Everyone ignored Bulma tooting her own horn, no matter how true it was. Yeah, I got really strong over those 3 years thanks to increase in gravity. You guys should try to do some gravity training too. You will really get stronger faster. Maybe I should add that to the turtle school training. It would fit quite snugly. Master Rashi, Kairatsu and I humbly ask if you will become our master. Everyone was in a circle chatting happily about the last 3 years until Goku saw smoke coming from the tournament's main building. Knowing what the smoke was about, Goku started heading towards it in large strides. It wasn't long until someone saw Goku leave the huddle and consequently see the smoke. No words were exchanged when people started to head towards it to see what the commotion was. Entering through the front gate, the first thing that came into vision was the announcer guy with his back against the wall and legs twisted in abnormal angles. He was unconscious, likely from the pain from his legs. Advancing to the announcer's position, he was holding a note on his hand with some blood on the bottom of it. Goku walked up and grabbed the piece of paper and held it before his face. Tourney list. The writing was poor and crooked, but the message was conveyed. By this time, the rest of the crew filed and saw the situation. While everyone was crowding around the message, Master Rashi diverted from the norm and went to the center of the room where there was another piece of a paper by its lonesome. When he picked it up, his face changed from suspicion to horrified. It can't be. Instantly, everyone's attention turned towards Rashi and looked at the strange paper that he was holding. Bulma was the one to speak up on Rashi's strange reaction. What's with you, old pervert? All it is a devil symbol with a circle in the middle. For all we know, it could some random zoomer or something pulling a prank. Rashi completely refuted Bulma's attempt at trying to be witty with a grim statement. No, this is something far worse than a zoomer. This is the crest of the Devil Emperor, Piccolo. Piccolo? What does he kill us with a horrible high-pitched screech? Sounds like a pansy to me. Oolong tried to make light of the situation. As usual, no one paid attention to the side character, nay background character. I've heard of this Devil Emperor Piccolo before. He once submerged the world in flames a long time ago with his iron fist. Yes, long ago, my master fought him along with me and Shin. Even with all of our power combined, we couldn't defeat him. So my master sealed him inside a jar and I tossed him in the bottom of the ocean. There shouldn't be a way for him to return after my master used his life to stop his tyranny. SSO, are we able to stop him? Krillin was literally shivering in fear. We aren't powerful enough, but we have 2 choices. The Dragon Balls and... Rashi turned to Goku with a complicated expression. You, Goku, you have far exceeded my expectation and our only hope with the power you possess. I learned this from my master Korin, and I think with your lineage, you might be able to acquire it. What is this thing that you want Goku to get? It sounds like it will hurt him. Chi-Chi started to get a really bad feeling from this situation. Rashi and Goku stared at for a second. Rashi nodded and Goku got the message. He went through the front door but not before hauling the announcer over his shoulder. Calling his flying Nimbus, he jumped up and grabbed onto the edge before blasting off. Everyone rushed towards him to see what he was doing. All they got was a glimpse of his tail and a yellow trail to boot. Bulma waited no time and stomped back to Rashi to demand answers. Grabbing him by the shirt, it didn't matter if he was the greatest martial artist in the world or Usain Bolt, he wasn't going to escape. What did you send him to do? You wrinkly old bastard, if you don't tell right now, you'll not be able to see women the same anymore when you become one. Rashi didn't flinch nor retaliate, only stating facts. He is our only hope if a wish-granting dragon doesn't work. We can always wish him back with that same reality-bending power. Tears started to well up in her eyes at the implication. She stormed off while speed dialing someone. Right when she entered the sidewalk, a helicopter came in from out of nowhere and picked her up into the sunset. Now everyone there turned to Master Rashi demanding answers. All he could say was, if you truly are a martial artist, you have to take risks for the greater good. Flying to Korin's tower, this is one of the things that Goku has been most apprehensive about. He was literally on his way to drink poison to get stronger. Sounds like something an alcoholic would say. This year was his official year that he has lived as long as his previous life. Soon it would even feel like his previous life was just a strange dream. Shaking his head, he saw Korin's tower in the distance and landed on the balcony bidding farewell to his little cloud. Korin was just sleeping as all cats do until he heard a loud stomp on his tower. Going outside to give the intruder a piece of his mind, he saw a familiar face greet his all-day nap. "Goku? What are you doing here?" "Master Roshi sent me to increase my strength. He said with my body, I should be able to handle it." Korin wrinkled his brows. If it was what he is thinking of, this was a serious situation, especially if Roshi sent him. Looking into his mind, he absorbed the entire conversation that occurred moments ago and understood the severity of the situation. Goku placed the announcer on a wall while Korin left. He went to the back of the room and grabbed a teapot and cup to prepare to give Goku the worst pain in his life. Going back to the main room, Korin could feel Goku's shivers when his eyes laid on the pot. "You do know that this is heart-wrenching poison. The worst pain you will ever experience is from this ultra-sacred water." "Yeah, I know." Giving him a cup, the only light in his eyes was of pity. "What is with the other guy, by the way? He seems kinda there dead if it weren't for his breathing." Once Korin reminded Goku of the guy with the broken legs, he got an idea. "Korin, give me some senzu beans. Now, quick!" Grumbling while going to one of his pots, he reached down and grabbed some beans. Kids these days with no respect. Grabbing one bean, he crushed it with his hands into a paste and fed the announcer the green miracle. Suddenly, his legs started to revert back to their original position. Cracks could be heard until he was fully restored to normal position. Korin's eyes rocketed out of his eyes at the display. He knew that it could heal simple cuts, but broken legs are another story. Taking a deep breath, he pinched his nose and downed the drink. Before the pain could start, he started chewing on a senzu bean at the same time. Saying that the experience was painful was the understatement of the year, and no amount of healing could help that. The original purpose of the sacred water was to dig deep into your body to find your potential and unlock it. Only those with extremely durable bodies could take the strain of the process and live to see another day. The senzu bean was not helping at all with reducing the pain and arguably increasing it. Instead of leaving a destructive path in its wake for the body to heal slowly later, the senzu bean is forcing the body to heal, giving Goku a brief moment of respite before it attacks him again. It's like experiencing scorching hot water only for it be cooled down before scorching yourself again every second. Continuous pain is much more wanted. While Goku was going through a very painful process to get stronger, the rest of the crew void Bulma headed off to the Dragon Balls. Bulma had the foresight to pass the Chi-Chi the Dragon radar, indicating for her to get the Dragon Balls back at Capsule Core. This was the only reason why she also didn't run off with Bulma to check on Goku. She had to keep Plan A afloat. They all flew back in a mini-jet that Bulma had called for them. The helicopter was already close to the island, letting her take a quick departure while the jet took half an hour. Scrambling in, they couldn't help feeling anxious about the up and coming events and Goku's safety. Master Roshi, in particular, had an incredible amount of lumps on his head when he told the truth of what Goku was getting himself into. The mini-jet was fast getting crew from the island to Capsule Core. When it came into view, smoke was being emitted from a giant hole on the side of the building. Another break-in? You would think that there would be better countermeasures at this point. They parked the jet right next to it, and Chi-Chi was followed by the rest to see what had happened. Standing there above Dr. Briefs and a steel suitcase was a green monster with wings sprouted behind his back. Luckily, Dr. Briefs didn't look too hurt when they arrived, attracting the monster's attention. "Look at who we have here. More worthless humans who have stopped my amusement." Briefs stood up and slowly backed away, but Tambourine didn't pay any more attention to the weakling. Although their power was weaker than his, he felt some semblance of a threat. "Let's see if you can provide me with some form of amusement to make up for it." Bulma's helicopter pilot saw a huge tower in the distance. "Miss Briefs, is that the one?" Looking up in the huge tower, she could really only say one thing. "It better be. Is this Piccolo?" All of the vulnerable people stayed behind, letting the fighters take the floor. Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, Chiatsu, and Rashi circled the smirking demon. "This isn't what I remember him looking like. This is most likely a minion of his. Even if it is his minion, you mustn't underestimate the might that he carries. We won't lose to his pet." They were raring to go, to make sure that this demon won't rule the world. They were willing to sacrifice their life. "You seem like you know about me and my master. I will grace your death with his honor. Be grateful." With it, he made his way to his first target, which was Yamcha. He observed them for a little and was able to locate the weak link in the pack. Yamcha was ready for him, not risking his life for a second. Wolf Fang Fist, his signature move, was aimed at the condescending grin. He didn't get far until the monster fist was lodged into his gut. He was standing over Yamcha in a very relaxed position. Raising his claws to impale his back, he was stopped barely by an invisible force. Looking over in the direction that it was coming from, a flying psychic was closing his eyes in concentration. Veins were sprouting from his head from the strain. Before he could think of a counterattack, he was launched from an impact to the side of his head. Flying through the building, he tried to stabilize himself with his wings before Krillin and Rashi finished the combo that Tien set for them by hitting Tambourine's back at the same time. He crashed into the sturdy wall with dust flying everywhere. Tien spat in the direction of the demon to taunt it. "You don't seem too tough. With all of us here, you will meet your doom." Tambourine grunted in response. Tien was no doubt his biggest threat, but if he could just isolate him by quickly killing the others, then he might have a chance. Going to the second weakest link, Krillin, he already had Kaioshin and Rashi backing him up after they realized the monster's strategy. Pinched between a rock and a hard place, he didn't know what else to do. "You strong martial artists don't have to kill me. We have reformed from our evil ways, I promise." They offered us a cake to join the good side and we accepted. "The cake is a lie. Don't listen to him. He needs to be terminated before he can bring doom to us all." The 5 fighters started to charge their beam techniques in order to ensure the demon's demise, not caring at all about the damage that it will entail to the infrastructure. Bulma was rich after all. Sweat started to pour down his face when he felt the disturbance and abundance of ki that was being gathered. He put a hand out for each group that was aiming at him and pushed out his own ki to give him time to save himself. Kamehameha, Doden Ray. Beams clashed, but it was foreseeable who would win. The combined beams were right upon the demon's hands, ready to erase him into ash. "You will not be able to stop the advent of my master." With that, the beams collided and exploded with its prey in the middle. Overkill was not in the dictionary for these people, as one misstep could very well lead to world domination. "This is the end of the line, miss. We can't go any higher. The altitude is too high for this helicopter. Damn it! How long is this tower?" They were climbing in altitude for so long and they have yet to see the top. Bulma pulled out the hoverbike that she had stored in the back of the helicopter and flew out the opening. Bulma upgraded the bike to keep up with the flying Nimbus. It was able to stick to the pole and slowly ascend. This was the reason why she didn't bring it out in the first place. Herc! Eep! There was a green ugly monster sitting on a throne inside of a flying airship. He was incredibly wrinkly from age, making him look like a prune. The idiot trio was below next to his feet. When he started to act strangely, they yelled in surprise and probably peed themselves at the sudden noise. There was a tridactyl-type monster being annoying with its high-pitched voice. It was a wonder why he was still there, serving no use. "Master, what happened? Tambourine has perished. Who could have killed him?" I knew it. It is probably that Goku kid who could have possibly be strong enough to kill him. That is why all the Dragon Balls are already collected except for one. Goku, huh? Set the course to those Dragon Balls. I shall terminate this Goku once in for all before he becomes a problem to my regime. "No problem, sir." Pilaf, the person who wanted to have some sort of power so bad that he lowered himself to be someone else's by *TCH, ran to the terminal and charted a course to Capsule Corporation. It didn't take too much longer for Bulma to reach the top. After driving for an hour, she finally saw a huge building on top of the tower and got excited that her trip was finally coming to an end. Seeing that there was no way for her to actually bring the bike with her, she jumped off and let the bike fly down without its owner. Climbing up, she proceeded forward and up the stairs to the balcony. It was there that she suddenly faced to face with a frizzly cat and cane. Me. Although Goku told her about his adventure to Korin's tower, he never actually said that Korin could talk. "I can talk, you stupid human." Seeing the angry cat fuss over practically nothing was amusing to watch. Totally worth it. Calming down a little bit, Korin peered into Bulma's mind as she was trying to search for something. Seeing her intention and the way that she traveled her made him understand her transparent urgency. Korin pointed toward a room that was adjacent to the main building and spoke to the distressed girl. "What you seek is over there." Heading over, she entered the room to see 2 beds. One had the announcer that Goku took for some reason. He was sitting on his bed looking over at Goku, who was sweating a flood on his bed with occasional whimpers. Bulma didn't even notice that the announcer's legs were magically fixed and headed over to Goku. "Goku!" The announcer was startled at the young girl's arrival but kept quiet about the matter after seeing her concern. "He has been in this state for at least several hours. Apparently, I was saved by him after my legs were broken from that demon. When I awakened, he was already like this." Bulma finally noticed the notable side character with his healed legs. "What kind of science is this? Your legs were broken just earlier today." There was no science on Earth currently that was able to heal broken legs in hours like so. From what I am told, apparently it's not science, but magic. Master Korin told me that Goku gave me one of his green beans and I was able to heal my injuries. They had just found out about it and gave it to me to save my legs. A bean that is able to heal injuries? This is life-changing. Wait, why don't you give it Goku then? Don't you see he is in all this pain? What is causing it? Bulma was talking so fast it was hard to keep track of her words. The announcer got flustered at all the questioning but was luckily saved by Korin. "He is experiencing the ultra-divine water. The liquid is extremely poisonous, but if you are able to survive the trial, then you will receive a great boost in strength." He himself dosed himself with a senzu bean and it did not work too well. In fact, it made his pain intense in the beginning and mild in the middle. Nothing can stop the trial set by the water. Bulma stared at Goku's pained expression with her own. It was torturous to see him experiencing hardship without her being able to do anything about it. She was in for a surprise, as that was the exact moment that he suddenly opened, making her jump. Ha! Whack! Goku, unfortunately, woke up from his nightmarish hell with a headache and bumped to boot, not letting the annoyed Bulma and scared announcer get his mood down. He was feeling stronger than ever. Even with his gravity training, the water still boosted his strength tremendously. No pain, no gain. Let's hurry, Goku. The others went for the Dragon Balls at my house. We need to rendezvous and come up with a plan. Did you say Dragon Balls?
Yes.
At your house?
Yes.
But that is not the poi dash. Why didn't you tell me? Goku rushed out with the announcer and Bulma on each hand. Jumping off the platform, he called out for his trusty ride. Flying Nimbus. The little cloud swooped them off their feet, the two that was dragged to be dangled from the side. Goku, that hurt. Why did you do that? I just wanted the Dragon Balls to be a secret. I wasn't going to wish for anything that important. Those are wish-granting mystical balls that have been around for centuries. Piccolo could have known about them and could be on his way to them right now. Everyone is in danger. Shit. Well, that was easier than I thought. Yamcha was looking over the ash in the middle of the room as everyone helped Dr. Briefs and his robots fix his house. Krillin opened the suitcase to find 6 dazzling Dragon Balls neatly placed in their respective holder. There was only one missing, which was Goku's final ball. They were after the Dragon Balls. This is bad. They know about the power that it holds. Wait, how did they know that they were here? Krillin turned to Chi-Chi, who was looking no less than guilty that the revelation that they were collecting the Dragon Balls was out. Her and Bulma were only supposed to make the wish pretend they never had them in the first place. No matter how stupid their wish was. Bulma and I were collecting them. I don't know why they knew where they were. Bulma has the Dragon Ball radar with her right now. Radar? The only other people that have a radar are the RR Army, but they went extinct and Pilaf is too incompetent to have Piccolo as a minion. Wait, that doesn't matter. The fact that they have a radar makes this place a target. We have to leave this place before it gets blasted into oblivion. Finally, that cue ball was worth something as he snapped everyone to become more alert. They all said bye to Dr. Briefs after fixing his house and boarded the jet to bring the fight somewhere else. Taking off into the sky, they plotted their course for the final battle. We can go to the Diablo Desert. It is pretty deserted if you catch my drift. Before anyone could laugh, cringe. At his joke, the jet rocketed out of control. Tien tried to bring it back to his control with his totally expert flying capabilities. The ship went crashing down in minutes. Everyone crawled out of the wreck that was lodged into the middle of the street. Cars were honking and pedestrians were scattering. Everyone at the same time looked up when a shadow loomed over them. A giant ship that loomed over them like there were ants. The pressure alone spelled doom in all caps.